India's space ecosystem is revving up. I have with me Sanjay Nikanti. He is the CEO of Druva Space, one of India's pioneering startup companies doing work in the area of space technologies. They say space technology is rocket science. He is making rocket science accessible for Indians. Sanjay, tell me a little bit about Druva Space and what is your current portfolio of work?
Yeah. Druva Space is a full stack space engineering solutions company. If you look at any space mission, there are three main parts to it. The first one is building of the satellite, the second one is launching of the satellite, and the third one is operations of the satellite. As Druva Space, we work on all these three segments. On the space segment, we build satellites ranging from 1 kilogram all the way up to 300 kilograms. On the launch segment, we build satellite dispensers that can go on to multitude of launch vehicles to deploy satellites in orbit. The third one, on the ground segment, we provide products which are communication stations that enable operations of satellites once they are in orbit. Today a lot of our customers are domestic. We are supporting R&D and academic institutions that are fostering into space research. It would be very interesting to know that there are a lot of research institutions in India that are looking at utilizing satellites for doing pharmaceutical as well as biological research. There are also a lot of academic institutions who are now thinking about launching satellites beyond the Earth's atmosphere, probably doing interplanetary CubeSat missions. We're supporting some of these. We are well known today for building space-grade solar panels. We are supporting one of the customers where we are building large satellite solar arrays.
So, on the satellite front, what is the size of your satellites, and have you had any interaction with the Indian Space Research Organizations? I believe you signed an MOU or something with them.
Yeah, let me talk about our first two satellites. Our first two satellites will be called Thibault 1 and Thibault 2. These are amateur radio satellites. We are building these satellites, to support the vision of our Prime Minister, where he wanted 75 student satellites to go out. Today, there is no standardized platform that academic institutions can pick and build on top of it. So, realizing the need for this, we developed our P-Dot platform. It is a small half-view CubeSat. It is the size of a small tiffin box. We have built these satellites completely indigenously. Made in Hyderabad. We also built the dispenser for deploying these satellites. ISRO, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center has supported us. InSpace has supported us in doing the necessary evaluation of these deployers. We have signed the launch services agreement with New Space India Limited, which is a commercial arm of ISRO, last month to launch these satellites sometime this year.
And within these satellites, on this 75 satellites which are to be launched on the 75th year of India's independence, what is your exact role?
So the Indian Technology Congress Association is the nodal agency that is leading the efforts of these missions. We are a partner to the Indian Technology Congress Association, where any academic institution that wants to be part of ITCA can reach out to us as an ecosystem partner to meet their requirements.
So do you think Indian engineers, Indian designers, Indian scientists have the capacity and the depth and the wherewithal to make a space startup convert into a full-fledged space company?
Absolutely. I definitely believe that is 100% possible. India has been known for two things. I mean, we are proud of whenever there's an ISRO launch, we go and watch the launch. ISRO has touched the lives of people. I'm a product of the training of ISRO. I built my first satellite as a student when ISRO trained us to do it.
SRM sat.
SRM sat. So I'm 100% sure that, when we started in 2012, we were India's first space tech startup. According to the Economic Times survey, there are about 101 startups as of this year. So I believe that is going to grow. We will definitely see a lot of satellites and space technology solutions from Indian companies going global very soon.
What is your expectation? Because India still does not have a space law. The liability regime is still not clear, and it's still cooking.
That's a very interesting question. So I will tell you how we have been approaching it. See, today, as long as you want to offer a satellite-enabled service, the policy will remain a concern. But when you're trying to serve the global market at a system level, at a subsystem level, you have all the policies in place. So while those are getting ready, we are, doing things with what is already possible. So today we are trying to supply systems to the global market. And I believe as soon as the policy comes, we might look towards launching our own constellations of satellites in the future to provide a satellite-enabled service.
So, how soon do we expect a satellite made by Druva Space, launched from Indian soil on an Indian rocket, and owned by India?
So to be very honest, I'm very, very hopeful that in the next 2 quarters we will be able to achieve that. Keeping my fingers crossed, our first 2 missions are non-commercial missions. They're being made to validate the technology that we've been developing over the years, and they have a social cause. We would like to these satellites will be carrying an amateur radio payload that can support a lot of ham radio operators today in the country. And ISRO in the past has launched amateur radio satellites to support Indian amateur radio operators. So I believe we are very close. Hopefully in the next 2 quarters, you will see Thibault 1 and Thibault 2 in orbit.
And what about your funding? You're looking at private sector, you are a startup. Are you getting enough funding support?
Sir, see, when we raised our first round of capital, I had to meet 160 investors, out of which 40 investors believed in what we're doing. And today we have access to capital, but we definitely need more access to capital. I would say the situation can be better. I believe it is getting better. All the new investors, the investors who are looking at the space sector are keen to understand how the policy would come out so that they can invest in this market.
So you need urgently the policy and the law in place.
Yeah, I would say having that in place will be really helpful.
Excited about space in India?
Of course, 100% made in India for the world.
So that was Sanjay Nikanti, Chief Executive Officer of Druva Space. India's startup ecosystem is revving up and he is leading the pack. In India, for the globe. That seems to be his motto, which is very doable. In New Delhi, Pallav Bagla.